Hello Karthik, how are you today?
I'm good, Kaushik. How are you?
Amazing as always. Karthik, Rajesh. Rajesh is joining us on the show here today. Rajesh
Yeah.
is the person who's been selling puppets to households in his native, a tiny town here in Tamil Nadu. And now he's a keynote speaker in some of the biggest conclaves of the world. He even has his own book now.
Yeah. So he's an absolutely self-made man. Like you said, from selling snacks to retailers in South India to being a keynote speaker on the biggest stages of the globe. So yeah, absolutely thrilled to host Rajesh Srinivasan today. Let's go.
Cannot
high
wait
on
to
story.
bring about. Yeah. As you said, let's get high on stories, Karthik. This is the
Yeah.
place where we bring the best stories from around the world. So make sure you join us, and without further ado, we will bring our host in, our guest in.
Cheers.
Again, thank you so much for joining us here today, Rajesh. We were really looking forward to this particular conversation because a person who's been through so many facets of life and seen it all, literally climbed so
Yeah.
many stages, and oh man, I really wanted to start off this conversation. I couldn't wait till I hit on that start button. So
Yeah.
Rajesh, again, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, hi
Thanks,
Kaushik.
Rajesh.
Yeah, hi Karthik. Happy to
Hi.
join
Hi.
with you both.
Absolutely.
And it's my
Absolutely.
pleasure to speak with both of you.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So Rajesh, we will start with our signature question, which we always start with. What is your story, Rajesh? Please share your story with us.
Um, I was born in a place called Tanjavur. It's a village in Tamil Nadu. You must be knowing about that town where
Yeah.
big temple, Bragadishwar. It's famous for big temple, Bragadishwara temple.
It's a UNESCO
I was
rich
born.
site.
Yeah, exactly. I was born in that little town um, back in 1997. Um, I've studied in a school which is famous in Tanjavur. It's called Kalyana Sundaram Higher Secondary School. I've studied my undergraduation also in Tanjavur. So back then, I've studied. Uh, I was not exposed to too many things. Being born in a small town, even my father and mother, they both were government servants. My father was working in public works department, and my mother was working in collectorate. So the exposure, when you are in a very small town, the exposure is very limited to that particular town, right? So, but I wouldn't say that I haven't enjoyed my childhood there. I've learned a lot of things because you everything is it's very small in all the streets. You know your friends. We were living in a place called Mission Street, Missin Mission Street, where um, both Hindus and Christians mingle together very closely. Uh, there is no difference between the culture. We both engage with each other very quickly. So that was my childhood. Then, after completing my graduation, I immediately started my own small FMCG distribution company in my own native place, because even at that point of time, I was more curious about being an entrepreneur, entering into the market, especially things related to marketing. So what I did is, immediately after completing my college, I went to a big box distributor, an FMCG distributor of Hindustan Liver. I've started taking a portion of their business for only for the outskirts, the villages which is surrounded in Tanjavur, small villages. I used to take my TVS 50, put all the pens, soaps, everything. I used to go and distribute in my TVS 50 to all those towns. I used to interact with dealers, stand in their shops and discuss about things, how their business is doing. So that was my earliest stage of my career. I've even started getting exposure on the ground. So then later on, I thought, why shouldn't I start my own venture? I started my own company called Kicha's Puppet. My wife, we manufactured puppet, appalam at our
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
We created our own logo. Myself and my friend, we used to again stuff it in our two-wheelers, go and distribute across Tanjavur. That was doing well. Even at that point of time, we were clocking around 50, 60,000 rupees per month. I'm talking about revenues.
Wow.
1999. So suddenly my friend, everything went on well. Suddenly my friend passed away, so I had to stop and move on to the next level. So I've sold this entire thing to a local puppet manufacturer. This entire manufacturing stuff and all those things. Even we had few sales people also, one or two people are doing part time. We have given everything to another retailer. I've given everything to them, and I've closed the business. Then what I did is I thought I need to get more exposure in business. So I came down to Chennai and joined the call center. Worked there for 3 years, doing outbound calls to US, selling US grants to American citizens. So past 1 year, I've got left, right, and center. So I've learned a lot of things during my conversation. I've learned how to do marketing over phone, especially when you don't see the customers, but still you want to sell. How to do that? The training programs of that particular call center was really good.
Hmm.
They used to give both soft and hard skills training, which really helped me to fine tune my skill, selling and marketing skills. Then, if you ask me to be very honest with you, till the age of 33, I was clueless. I was doing things very randomly. You would have understood. I was an entrepreneur in the early days. Then I worked in few companies. Then I've entered into real estate marketing and when I came out of it last year, I was heading the marketing team of a real estate company. But till the age of 33, I was clueless as to what I have to do in my life because of the lack of self-awareness about me, about my own strengths and weaknesses. I really didn't know that marketing is what I have to do uh, because, as I said earlier, I was uh, I didn't open up and I didn't speak to people about my own strengths. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't. I'm a very closed person. Introvert is another thing, but I don't. I'm not even an introvert. I don't reveal my strengths or weakness openly to others. So that has put a stumbling block in my career in the early days. So what I did is, after I realized that, when I have realized that I should do something in marketing, 6 years back, I went back to Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, for a 1 year management course on marketing. So I was the topper of the batch in that executive education program. So after after I've got that topper of the batch award, I've realized one thing. Never in my career, for any education purpose, I went to a podium and received an award as a topper. Never in my life till that moment. I realized, okay, I'm doing something good. Why can't I take this further and do something bigger in this? Then I realized. Then I've authored a book called Marketing Success Formula. Then I've started um, attending various marketing conclaves as a keynote speaker. Then everything started falling in place once after I realized that this is what I need to do in my life. A firm decision as to we call this a circle of competence, right? So once we identify our circle of competence, I think I've started putting my whole focus into that one single area called marketing and started doing a lot of research as to what brands are doing or what are the best practices in marketing. I've started interviewing some CEOs, chief marketing officers. A lot of things have fallen in place. So this is what My story is a story of a very normal person. Even I consider myself, even today, as a learner. So when I read a lot, I spend a lot of time on reading books. I would say I would call myself as a seeker. Than I never think I've learned everything. Every day I learn some new ideas. Sometimes what I do is I pick up one single idea or concept and meditate on that idea on the whole day, not reading any big stuff. One simple idea and meditate, see things, do research around that one simple idea alone. So that is how I learn things and how I keep myself updated. This is my story. I think it's not a great story. I think I've explained this well to you.
Beautiful,
No, no.
beautiful. Indeed, Rajesh. So yeah, it's all about humble beginnings and where you carry yourself at the end of the day, right? Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it was a great story, and it's interesting since you mentioned that self-made man from an entrepreneur to so many stages in your life. And on that note, I want to ask you, since you would have probably marketed and sold to so many different people, and I recently saw your video about how Coca-Cola sells emotions, right? They are connecting people with emotions. So, in that context, how important, Rajesh, according to you, is to connect with people, whether you're in marketing, sales? How important is that human connection?
See, human connections is a fundamental element of everything we do as humans. So that is why I say, right from my someone asked during one of my consulting session, a CEO asked me, "So, what is your experience as a marketer, Rajesh?" I said 43 years. He asked me, "When did you born? What is your age?" 43 years, he said. "Oh, how do you say you have 43 years of experience as a marketer?" Yes, right from the day I've started asking my mom. I've started figuring out certain things around the world. A lot of things are up. Everything, every day, whatever we do as humans, day in and day out, yes, selling something, we are marketing something. Be it if we want a job, we are trying to market ourselves to a boss. Even in my college days, um, I've convinced my parents after my college to, and I convinced them to. Uh, I was loving a girl. I was in love affair with a girl during my college days. So after the college, immediately there was some problem in my wife's house. So there was a huge struggle. She came out of her house and we went together to my dad's house, and I have to convince him, saying that I cannot live without her. It's a huge marketing job which I have done immediately after my college is over. Immediately immediately I've sold that idea to my father and mother. They were eventually convinced. And now I have a son who's studying BBA first year. So I personally noticed, even to that same CEO I told, these are the things I've told him. We see marketing only in a limited context, but things we get more exposure. Our mind will open up only when we see things as humans, as to how we are selling stuff or selling our own ideas. And we can even notice kids are great sales and marketers.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
tell their right, they ask right questions, they pamper us slowly, they ask if they want something, they won't even ask that directly, they ask different things, then they encircle us, and then finally they come and ask us certain things. Kids, from kids we can learn a lot of things from marketing. So I see sales and marketing not just from a job perspective. We humans are naturally good at sales and marketing, but we don't realize that.
True. Beautiful. So one interesting thing in all this which I got, Rajesh, so it's all about human emotions. But one thing when you touched upon your story and even now is, you said something called marketing over the phone and marketing. So generally the term goes on to say sell over the phone, but you just said market over the phone. How does that work? It was really interesting.
No, it's all about sales and marketing are interchangeably used, right? So in our industry, so I think sales and marketing there are some slight differentiation, different aspect of it. When I say marketing, uh, marketing begins even before the product is launched and it extends even after the product is sold. Most of us think marketing only in terms of campaigning and advertising, but we now realize that it's something more than that, right? So selling over phone, we naturally do sales. We cannot do marketing over phone as such. We generally do a lot of sales stuff. We generally have, but having a marketing prospects than pushing something to them, um, drive, driving more conversations and trying to understand them more deeply, establishing relationship with them before we start selling something. Now we have an idea called social selling, right? So learning something from that and incorporating in even in telephonic conversations. So that will really help even a telemarketer. So now what happens is, so even now I am getting a call. When we pick up that call, immediately someone will, sir, I am calling from XYZ company. So do you want something? So immediately we bang the phone. We don't even bother to respond to them, uh, right? So establishing a relationship, trying to understand people who are on the other side, asking permission from them. Seth Godin calls this as permission marketing, right? Getting people's permission, um, so that they give their attention wholeheartedly to us. These are some of the critical factors which we think we need to adopt before trying to sell anything, especially over phone. It does matter.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Absolutely, brilliant thoughts. Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting that you brought up this aspect, Rajesh. In fact, I want to ask you this from your experience so far, of marketing and selling and doing so many different things in this world. What do you think are the biggest marketing innovations that always inspire you? You always feel happy to talk about it. You want to really, think back about it and think deeper. What do you think are the biggest innovations, Rajesh?
I would consider Nike's strategy as one of the marketing innovations.
Okay.
Nike just sells shoe. It's a commodity. There's
Yeah.
nothing there in a shoe. But
Yeah.
how they have transformed a very normal commodity, a product, into a buzz generating machine. They, if we observe this deeply, there is a framework in it. They have taken a commodity and they have incorporated a storytelling aspect, which is nothing but hero's journey into it, and they have made their customer the hero of their product, hero of this entire story. That is what made a very normal shoe company. I was just going through the book of Phil Knight, Shoe Dog, how he has transformed a normal commodity into a very powerful brand in the universe. So that I would call as an innovation. So in marketing nowadays, there are a lot of technology aspects. We think only those things as an innovation, but how we keep customers at the center of whatever we do in marketing. Apple is a great example of how Harley Davidson is a great example of. These are cult brands, right? So they don't talk about product. They don't even think of advertising their product. Whereas 95, 99 percentage of the companies in the whole world think in terms of marketing spend, brand spend, how we need to do activations and all those things. This 1% of brands, they follow a different mindset. They have a
Yeah.
different mindset, and I would consider that as a marketing innovation. Keeping your users, keeping converting the customers into fans, not just customers, seeing them as humans. I would consider that as a marketing innovation. If you club that storytelling aspect and technology, it becomes a powerful buzz generating mission for a brand. You don't need to
Absolutely.
spend huge amount of marketing money.
True, true, true. Beautiful. So, Rajesh, one more thing which I'd love to probe in and dive a little deeper from what you mentioned. So, you in between you told us that marketing is not just advertisements or running campaigns anymore. So, what is one thing that marketers should be doing if they're not already doing?
It should be impact driven. See,
Ah,
Awesome.
I would always take example of people like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Jesus Christ, Swami Vivekananda. If you notice, uh, Jesus Christ, among all his followers, he has chosen only 12 people as apostles to spread the word of Christianity to the whole world. Only 12 people. Vivekananda asked just 100 people, give me only 100 young people, young and energetic people. I will change the whole India. Mahatma Gandhi, what he did when he went for the Dundee marches, when he began that campaign, only 50 people were with him. In that entire
Yeah.
350, 390-kilometer journey, he was going by walk. By the end of that 390 kilometer journey, around 50,000 people were there. If we are cost driven, if we are impact driven, we attract people naturally. Marketing, even off late, I've realized that we have to, we shouldn't think like marketers at all. We should think like evangelists, uh,
Hmm.
like Steve Jobs. He is an evangelist, a technology evangelist. He sells his idea. He has that passion in him. So he's thinking like a change maker. When we become a change maker for our own product or whatever we sell, when we start thinking like evangelists for our own products and ideas, we attract customers, we attract employees, we attract investors naturally towards that'll be a great pull rather than going and using advertising as a tool.
so
Awesome.
So
powerful.
Awesome.
Yeah,
think like an evangelist instead of a conventional marketer. That is what I would say.
definitely. Such a
Yeah.
powerful statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and especially the point about impact-based marketing. It's very deep. Thank you, Rajesh, for
Impact
bringing it
or
up.
cost based marketing driven by why.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Rajesh, let's rewind a little bit and let's go back 20 years or 30 years or 40 years before. What would be that one suggestion, one piece of suggestion that Rajesh would give to his 40-year junior self?
Um, Identify your passion or your circle of competence at the very early stage of your life. That is what I would say, advice to my younger self. Uh, Even I would say, I would advise this to any person for that matter. And one more and another aspect of it is we should never listen to what our peers are doing. We sometimes shouldn't even listen to what our parents are saying or what others around us are saying. Here, we tend to lose our focus when we just look around and see what others are doing and trying to emulate it or copy it. And I would say, don't just consider uh, when we see career, we just see only from salary based thinking or working in a company, right? So I would always advise, even I am saying, I am communicating this to my son also, never constrain your thinking or a career only from job perspective. Today, the market is huge. Imagine what A.R. Rahman is doing. He is a career-oriented person, but he is in a
Yeah,
music field. Our
correct.
passions are so wide. Um, Roger Federer, his career is in tennis. He likes what he is doing, but he is getting paid for it. But our mind never works in that abundant mindset because of we we are conditioned to work somewhere, to do a 9 to 5 stuff, expect some monthly salary paid in our accounts. We need safety. Our reptilian minds need safety. even even I think the similar way. Even I communicate this to you because it's been conditioned through movies, through
Yeah.
especially to the people who are very close to us, our parents,
Yeah.
friends, relatives. When are you going?
Yeah.
Which company you're working? Are you working in that company? It's a good company. You're getting salary on time. Yes, you're in a safe position. You're working in a government job. Very good. So these things we need to come. That is the advice which I would give to my younger self. There, you need to have an abundant thinking. Think wide instead of a tunnel vision. We need to have wider funnel vision and see things or see our own passion. Am I a singer? Am I a dancer? Am I a creative person? Am I a photographer? How many variants of me I have? But if you notice, even during our younger age, we are good at multitasking. We play things, we take photographs, we sing songs, we have a lot of creative orientations. But the society tends to compress
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. Yeah.
"Hey, you are meant for this, you have to go to a job, you have to become a doctor, you have to become an engineer." They tend to compress us. I
Correct.
don't mistake the society, but we should be aware of it. we the more early we bring the self awareness into our life, I think, uh, close our eyes to the feedback of the society and do what our heart says. I think that is when the real transformation happens in our life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely
Follow your
following
heart.
that. Yeah. Definitely following that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So Rajesh, now we are approaching the best part of this interview, and we are really excited. This is going to be the rapid fire round, and you have to give your responses within 5 seconds, and make it in one word. Let's see how much, because we want to bring out the personality of Rajesh Srinivasan through these questions. So
Interesting. Yeah.
let's go with it. Okay, cool. Who's your favorite salesperson or marketer?
Steve Jobs.
Awesome. Who? What is your favorite brand?
Red Bull.
Okay. What? Who's your favorite author?
Seth Godin.
Favorite entrepreneur?
Warren Buffett.
Okay. Uh, Imagine that you have the opportunity to put a huge billboard on a highway, and you have the opportunity to write anything on it. What would that be, and why?
Action is the magic word. um, I follow this principle especially religiously of late. Action is the magic word. We may have a lot of ideas or we may have a lot of strategies. If we don't execute that, nothing will happen in our life. So I keep that as a mantra in my life. Action is the magic word.
Okay, awesome. And if Rajesh had the opportunity to die, who would those three people be?
My mom, she's not alive.
Awesome.
Uh, and I wanted to have a dinner with her and say sorry to a lot of things to her. And I also wanted to uh, all those transformations which I've told you happened after 33 years. She has not seen it, but she wanted me to do something different. She always used to encourage me, saying that Rajesh, you have to do something different. Da. That is what she used to tell me. But unfortunately, we have lost her. Uh, because of a breast cancer. But I wanted to meet her for a dinner and have a discussion with her. She's number one. Number two,
Mhm.
I wanted to have um, dinner with Mother Teresa
Okay.
and the impact which she has made. I consider her also as a great marketer. How humbly she made a movement, a big movement. And
Yeah.
third person whom I wanted to meet is Elon Musk. Uh, I just wanted to understand his philosophies behind his moonshoot thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrific,
These are the
terrific
three people.
examples. Terrific examples, Rajesh. What keeps Rajesh awake at 2 a.m.?
I generally sleep well, but if you ask me, I think you are asking something what drives me, right? What drives
Yeah,
me
yeah,
basically, right? I was just joking, but as I said earlier, I'm an intellectually curious person, and I just don't read marketing alone. That is my, I would call that as an advantage. I try to be a polymath in that sense. I try to read psychology. I try to read nature.
okay.
Do, I try to do, read a lot of things and bring that back into marketing and strategy.
Hmm.
So it means what drives me is a positive paranoia. That is what Indra Nui, the ex-CEO of Pepsi, calls, right? What am I missing today?
Hmm.
What am I failing to see today?
Hmm.
Uh, where I am get stuck.
Hmm.
So I have that positive fear in me every day when I wake up, because things
Hmm.
are changing, right, in the external world. So I try to read or meet people who are not in my immediate circle. I think uh, I get a lot of insights not from the people who are closer to me, but from people like you. I don't see Karthik or I don't meet with Kaushik quite often, but conversations like this, uh, you are asking me some questions, but what I'm learning from this whole conversation is I'm also learning about myself, the way I speak, the way I
Yeah,
express, and I'm
exactly.
also learning. I'm also learning a lot of things from both of you. You are doing something very different. So I try to break the limits of my network, uh, and try to move away from that and meet people, and that human connection is what drives me. That is what keeps me awake, or what I would say, be focused every time on what's happening around me, not in my immediate circle. Because what happens is in our immediate circle, the, those are usual conversations which happens, no, something which is very normal. But when we meet people in our external circle, uh, we tend to learn a lot. Not only learning happens, our mind opens up.
True, true.
So
Beautiful, beautiful.
that's
Very,
what
very
drives me.
Yeah, heavy. Yeah,
yes.
very nice.
Beautiful, Rajesh. So, Rajesh, we had so many more questions which we just couldn't squeeze in and pack in. But one thing which we have to ask you, Rajesh. So, this was a wealth among this conversation. There was so much in. But one thing you would like to tell all of our people who are talking with us right now. What is the one thing you would have them do immediately after listening to our conversation?
I think you have to do, as I've told earlier, uh, do what you feel it is right inside your heart. The biggest disadvantage of this entire social media thing uh, is things happening around us. Our mind become a natural copycat. We don't even we are not even aware of that. When we go through our LinkedIn profile or LinkedIn feeds, or when we go use our, we tend to get carried away and copy stuff which is happening there. I would say, be real, be real.
Awesome.
Don't don't even. That's where the magic happens. When you
Correct.
are real, when you are authentic,
Authentic.
when you
Yeah.
are true
It's,
to your own self, and
yeah.
do what. I would even go to an extent and say that never follow anyone.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Be your own guru. Be Emulate your own self.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that we shouldn't stop learning from others. I would say that shouldn't make us a very normal and average person. We should
Correct.
be bold enough to
To
be
follow.
our own self,
Yeah.
to follow our own heart.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Awesome. Rajesh,
That
less
that
than
that that I would say as a, yeah. That I would
yeah.
say as a key takeaway. Never even follow what I have told so far.
Thank you for those beautiful thoughts. We want to ask you, where can people find you?
Um, I have my own LinkedIn page where I do write stuff related to marketing, branding, strategy, and even my personal life stories also. I am in Facebook also, Rajesh Srinivasan. I have my own website, rajeshsrinivasan.com, and even a YouTube channel also. You can connect with people and understand what they are doing.
Awesome.
Yeah. We'll make sure we leave links to all those as well down below.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Not at
Thank
all.
you so much, Kaushik. And I would also like to thank both of you,
Yeah.
Kaushik and Karthik, for this wonderful initiative for bringing me in as a guest to this program and share my perspectives about marketing and my life. It's a wonderful opportunity for me. Thank you so much. And I've also seen you taking some initiatives like
Yeah.
storytelling tribe, and I've seen a lot of videos of Kaushik also in YouTube channel discussing about SaaS, putting some, bringing those complex ideas explaining those complex ideas about SaaS in a very simple way. I've seen a lot of content about. I've seen Karthik sharing a lot of insights about not only about marketing, various perspectives about life and business. Those things really inspire me. So that is what differentiate us, right? So whatever
Yeah.
we can do, where we have more control instead of thinking about what's happening around us, the impact which we try to bring to the world, even to the small people around my circle, the things which we do, it definitely creates an impact. The work which you do definitely creates an impact. And I would like to wish both of you, and in case if you need any support, I'm always available. Let's collectively do something which creates a positive impact around us. Thank you so much again, Kaushik and Karthik.
Rajesh, believe it or not, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. And the last 40 odd minutes that we spoke, and some of the examples you spoke, especially of Nike and some of the personalities we've grown up listening to, like Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa. I mean, believe it or not, it was really, really good. It was an absolute refresher course for me, for Kaushik as well. So thank you so much for taking the time out and coming and sharing your thoughts with us. I'm sure our people will be extremely happy to hear you. So keep. So please do join us for another show if we have it, whenever we have it. It's so much fun.
Definitely,
Exactly.
definitely. It's my pleasure. Definitely. Thank you so much again,
Yeah.
Kaushik and Karthik. All the best.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Rajesh.
Wow, Kaushik, that was some session with Rajesh. I always was looking forward to that, but that was like 40-minute marketing steroids. Absolute. And I loved especially the way he spoke about Nike, the experience that they're creating around a shoe, and then the personalities that he brought up. How impact marketing is so, how marketing should create an impact, and the thought that following your passion and not following somebody else's footsteps is so, and it was from the heart. I mean, this was one of the best conversations that I've had, and we thoroughly enjoyed speaking to Rajesh Srinivasan. Yeah.
True that, Karthik. So many golden nuggets. I don't know which ones to pick now. I honestly have to re-listen to our entire conversation to grasp all that in again. So,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful conversation, and definitely an inspiring one at that as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, you guys. So, what did you guys love from this conversation? Let us know. We always love to hear from each and every one of you. Also, are there any other particular topics that you want to talk about? Let us know in the comments below. We'll make sure we talk about them, and we'll also get the best stories to share with you on those. So make sure you hit down that subscribe button so that you do not miss out on all the future conversations. And we will see you in the next one. Keep getting high on stories, guys.
Cheers, guys.